Hey guys, running a couple minutes late. Had a couple little technical difficulties setting things back up. But I'm here, and welcome to Tuesday at Two Lines. Hope everybody's having a great. There are 41 people in here already. Oh man, that's hilarious. I haven't even looked at the chat, but I got a couple text messages from some of you guys saying that the chat was busy. So, guys. I'm not going to acknowledge everybody. Don't get mad at me. We're going to jump right in tonight. But thanks everyone who's on for coming. If you have a question, don't forget, put a Q in front of it. And we'll get started. But it looks like we've got a bunch of guys in the house. We have Bo and Jeremy at Garage of Slot Cars. We have Harry at 132 Slot Cars, Eric Tucker, Chris Freder, Steve Sweeney, DeFingers, Curvy, Ragtop Pat, Clint, Daryl Rogers. Yeah, Frankie Tomatoes, Dave from Slot R. Good evening, my friend. Glad you're here. Hopefully things are going well your way. And Mini Slot R is doing great. Eating well and growing and sleeping through the night, because that's important. We all know. Hey, Brandon, welcome. He's a wing select car guy, but wants to try hard bodies. I'm not even going to try to catch up with what's going on in the chat. So, Caveman, if Marty keeps coming in late, we may have to ban him from Caveman. When was the last time I was late? Oh, you mean I'm coming in late on Mondays? Yeah. Yeah, my work schedule on Monday is really, it causes problems with Raul's live stream. The last couple months have been tough, so that's a fair jab. I get it. Pat, I'm on. Hey, George, Merry Christmas. I was catching up there a few minutes ago with some of your live stream today. I was out and about most of today, and I did not really get to do anything. I probably have a ton of comments to get to on YouTube. I will get to those. But, hey, Robert, welcome, man. Good to have you. John Albright, she's a beaut, Clark. Hey, Oscar, glad to have you. We'll jump right in. So you guys know I went, Dusty and I raced with our buddy Josh and Daryl and our new friend Rob. I don't know if Rob's in the live stream chat or not. But we had a 6-hour endurance race on Sunday, and I thought we would jump in right off the bat and get it out of the way and talk about it. We got disqualified because we changed cars, and we changed cars because our pod broke. In our car, we were racing a Scale Auto Viper, and shout out to Bud Slot, Greg. I don't know if he's in tonight, but he jumps in every once in a while. He can tune some cars, man. That car ran great. It was quick. It's fast. But all those guys that were racing were a lot faster than me, and like that, I'm okay with that. They more laps. We didn't get to practice on Saturday, so we were short on practice on the track. But I will say that every segment I ran, I improved, I think, and got better and better and better. But yeah, our car jumped a slot and just full bore into the wall and snapped the pod right back by the motor. And when they threw it back on the track, it was just loose, couldn't control it. We pulled it off. We lost a bunch of laps instead of trying to put another pod in, because it was the third pod of the weekend, the second one of the day, that broke. And it was an aftermarket pod. And like, shout out to CG Slots. They are already sending Greg new pods to replace them. So fantastic on them. But I think they're really curious. Yeah, 15-minute stints with no beer or bourbon. Yeah, the 15 minutes, man, that's a long time to focus. And I'll talk a little bit about once I was on the track. Super proud of my brother, Dusty. He did awesome. He was clicking laps and, on a 15-minute stint, we, come out of the slot 6 or 8 times. You lose a lot of time. Race etiquette says that you shouldn't race guys if they're a lot faster than you. But I found that like I when I was next to people and near people, it really helped me racing them. So I would let them get by, and then I would try to chase them down. And sometimes I would catch them and pass them, and then I would make a mistake and come off. But yeah, again, shout out to CG. They're replacing those pods. That's awesome of them. But I think they really want to see why they broke. And the more I think about it, I think that when I took over, it had been about 4 stints since segments since I had raced. And I think when I got that car and took off, I wanted a tire cleaning really quick because it was super loose. And I just thought it was dirty tires. And then they cleaned the tires, and it improved a little bit, but not what a normal tire cleaning. So when I go back and I think about it, I think that maybe the pod was cracked already at this point. So it didn't take much of a hit to finish that car off. And again, I feel awful. That's the second time I've broken a car of Greg's. And I know racing happens, but man, it sucks that it happened to be while I was running the car. And so then we threw the Aston Martin on, and we all actually probably did a little better. The Aston Martin ran great. It probably drove a little easier, probably wasn't as fast, but Josh was killing it, man. He was getting laps in. He was running, like 106, 108 laps a segment, and Dusty was hitting 100 laps. I was hitting 100 laps. Rob was right there too, and so we finished strong. So based on laps, we finished 4th, but we really were disqualified because of changing out cars. But it was interesting. Shout out to the Cloverleaf guys. They won. Mike and Kurt and Corey, and I apologize, the other 2 guys, I didn't know their names, but they really had a good team put together. They were quick and fast and consistent. Paul was one of the other guys, but just a completely different brand of racing. They were super fast. A lot of track chatter. I don't know how else to say it, but they were a pretty loud group, and I could tell that was bothering some people. That stuff isn't usually, it just kind of goes in one ear and out the other. But shout out to my brother. He he jumped in and stood up for me because I was so focused I didn't hear what people were saying. But I guess one of the guys was complaining that I was being racy with people, and my brother's like, we're racing toy slot cars. Get over it. We're here to race. And kind of shut the guy up. And I feel bad that Dusty had to jump in and say something. But it was just a different brand of racing than we're used to, which makes me appreciate what I have at Cincy Slots. Or what we have at Cincy Slots with Bruce and those guys, and they're competitive. Like, don't get me wrong, they want to win, they want to be fast, but it's just a different environment. There's a lot of laughter, and there's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of teasing and maybe a little bit of trash talking, but it just not really during the race. Like, people are usually pretty considerate during the race. And so that was just a new environment, and I know that's what, George and I have had conversations. A lot of commercial tracks are like that, and that's why beginners get intimidated and go back. because guys yell at him because they didn't marshal fast enough, and guys yell at him because they didn't know track etiquette and their track rules. And I was a little disappointed in that, like honestly. But in the end, it was fun to be a part of. When we were on the track, I was having a blast. But thanks Josh, thanks Rob, thanks Dusty. We had a good team. Got to race with our buddy Steve and Jim and Alan, and got to know Jeff a little bit more. I don't think Jeff jumps in these live streams at all, but I've raced with him a few times, and he's really quick. And I spent I spent a couple of segments next to him, racing him, and he really taught me a lot, just following him around the track and how smooth he was on the trigger. And so I just used it as a learning experience. And, Josh called us immediately and like, hope you guys had a great time. Andy, one of the guys, grabbed me and shook my hand. He's like, I hope you guys come back. So I know that they could see that maybe we were a little frustrated, and they were concerned that maybe we didn't have a good time. We had a great time racing, but that's probably too intense of an environment for us. We'll probably back off a little bit from that and move on. But all in all, an endurance race was interesting. It was fun. It's you learn a lot, and man, you get a lot of laps in. So, I'd set a goal to try to hit 100 laps on every segment, and I got most of the time I got that. A few times I fell short. The one time when I broke the car, I ended up with like 82 or 83 laps. That segment really let the team down. But we were chasing down third place. I think we ended less than 30 laps from them. I think we were, about 27 laps, and we lost 30 or 40 laps about 30 laps when the car broke. So we could have been right there with them in our car. So yeah, I'm sorry, I've been reading the chat, but I'll scroll back. George, you're holding your tongue. Yeah, man. It's not. Yeah, and that's okay, Daryl. Dusty and I can deal with that. Heck, we do that on our own track, but it was a little different. I felt, I wasn't going to say this, but I felt a little bad for Butch, who was a fantastic host of that race, and they were really giving him a hard time. And I know that Butch races in the Michigan 24 with those guys and knows them really, really well, and they're probably at a level where I felt like they could harass him a little bit, but there was a lot of complaining and just griping about how he was running the race. And when they were behind, when the teams were, when they were winning, when Butch's team was winning before they stripped their gear, there was a lot of talk that was a little disappointing for the host to be talking about complaining about how things were going. And then that all changed when Butch and Greg's car went down, and they went from being 30 or 40 laps up to 30 laps down. But in the end, guys were good. Kurt, shout out to you, man. It was great to meet you. And at the end, he said he jumps on the live stream every once in a while, and I really appreciated that. And got to talk to Mike a little bit. Talked about controllers. I bought my DeFalco controller from Cloverleaf, and Mike had some things to. Sorry, Greg. Yeah, Greg, it's sad too, man. And I hope that they figure out what's going on with that. And then the other thing is you're not letting me drive any more of your cars. So that might be part of the problem. But in the end, man, yeah, Clint, that's what I did. I just chalked it up to experience. We gained a lot of experience. understanding how to, manage a race, run a race. Daryl was our race manager and did an awesome job. But now I know why he doesn't jump in there and race, and ends up usually, Dave, don't do it, George. But now I know why he does what he does when he comes to the wood track. But I got some ideas from this race. I think that somebody should develop a soft wall, just like in NASCAR, for the corners in a wood track. Something that doesn't take up a lot of space, but usually you have extra space on the outside on those wood tracks. It might save some cars, especially when Butch's track has the opportunity in two different places for a car to jump out of the slot and slide directly into the slot next to it and carom off of a wall, off of a hard turn wall. And, every track has those opportunities. It happens here on my track coming out of this turn right here. The inside, you can immediately hop out of the blue into the white. And on some cars, it's really easy to do. I could do it every lap if I wanted to. So I think I hate so much for you guys. You would have crushed them. Yeah, man, that's the thing about an endurance race, right? Your car has to last. And I found it really interesting. Greg, you were talking about how you like to use a nylon gear. And I was surprised when you opened up that car, and I realized it was Butch's car, that you were running, an aluminum or brass, or a brass pinion and aluminum gear. So I was surprised by that after we had that conversation, because I just felt like, man, when your car was on, it was on. And then after you had to change that gear out, I felt like you were just a tick off of what you were before, which is why you couldn't really make up laps on them. But man, good racing. You guys had a really solid team. You were short a man, so everybody had to do, double duty. So kudos to you guys. You ran a fantastic race. 2 years ago, I missed it. Sorry, Jeff's free time. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but thanks for being here, Jeff. The fingers called growing pains. I agree. I should say the type of over competitive people actually, it's just a couple of guys. And it's okay. Like everybody has a different personality. Competition brings out things in people. Sometimes it's not great. Sometimes they don't even recognize it and see it. And probably if they were told that it might hurt their feelings because they didn't realize they were doing those things. I get it. Oh my gosh, when I was little, Dusty can tell you, I was hyper competitive as a little league player. I wanted to get a hit every time I was up, and if I'd strike out, man, I was just a mess. And then as I got older, I learned how to control that and calm down. And I still do things. When we're racing, I mess up. It's always pointed towards me, never towards anybody else. I am my worst enemy sometimes when it comes to that. But yeah, Greg, we hear stories of that all the time, and this was just racing. It was all good. Congratulations to the Cloverleaf guys. They got the win. Good on them. And I was super impressed. So if any of you guys from Cloverleaf are in the chat tonight, congratulations. But here's what I want to see. I want to see you guys up against the West Coast guys, because you guys were fast, really fast. Kurt, dude, you were fantastic. Super, and Corey, really, really good behind the controllers. I want to see you guys. I want to see Butch and Greg. I want to see you guys go up against the West Coast guys, because with the coverage they're getting on the West Coast with what Electric Dreams is doing, Ian Douglas and Rick Jocham and Jim Rose and all those guys are getting lots of press about how fast they are. I don't know. Ian kind of ran away with the race this weekend, this past weekend, I think, at least in qualifying. I didn't get to see anything on Sunday because I was part of the 6 hour. But anyway, that's where we're at. So it was a great learning experience. I would probably do it again. Josh, I feel bad for Josh because by asking me to be on his team, he didn't stand a chance of winning that thing. And he's a fast driver. I would race with Josh again. But I don't know. I'll stay a little more local the next time. It'll be fun. Greg, you're just too kind. Greg, we got to put a date on the schedule, man, to get you here. And yeah, Billy, that's the fun part. It's fun. The fingers, yep, you heard me talk about that last night. Yep. I can't please everybody. So I've got to stop. Dusty, I think, Nerf. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Some soft, pliable, maybe 1/2 inch to 1 inch thick. Depending on how much room you have. But foam board, a Nerf, just something to soften that blow would be great. And you only need it in the corners. So if you shaped it and tapered it, kind of like NASCAR does, and just outline those corners, and straightaways and things, it's not that big of a deal when you come out there. It's just that the issue is when you really lose control of the car and it just launches, into the wall. So I think that just something like for Butch on his track, he really only needs it in 2 places. He needs it at the end of the big straightaway, and it would be great at the end of the underneath straightaway going back the other direction through the kink. I think you can barrel into that corner pretty good too. But the other ones, it's really not that big of a deal. But it might save some pods. It might save some cars, some bodies, broken parts. Yeah. So that's the 6 hours. Butch, thanks for hosting that. It was a great time, and we learned a lot, and I'm good at breaking cars. So my problem is I worry about getting a reputation for sucking at driving. I mean, I know that I suck at driving, but everybody else sees it now too. So. The fingers question, Marty, is there an issue with the Trav braid wearing in causing issues? I'm not sure, to fingers, if I'm reading that right. Yeah, I think that Greg may have mentioned it. They think they've discovered just a weak point in that pod design. So CG is going to look at it and see if they might be able to reinforce it, because the pod is great. I think that the reason why Greg's using that pod is he can get a little more speed out of the car. So that's, yeah, Daryl, they were. It was fun to watch those guys run. I've got some footage. I thought I'd put a little video out. Maybe I'll just make a reel out of it. So I'll post some footage of the race so you guys can see it. Maybe I'll get that out maybe Thursday or Friday, and kind of go from there. Well, I guess it could be my Saturday video, but I don't have that much because it was really pretty intense. When you weren't driving, you were usually marshaling or you were pitting people, and so the only time I really got footage was when I was the pit man, because you could kind of manage that a little better. But when I was marshaling, obviously I didn't get the phone out, and obviously when I was driving. So, yeah. Well, Dusty kind of, that's what Dusty sort of took care of. I think he'd had enough, but all good in the end. We all walked out friends. So yeah, Eric Tucker, Ian is fast, man. Remember, that's the same track over and over again. Utley and you have been chatting, Greg. That's cool. Yeah, I would love to see you guys get together. I'd definitely watch that race. That would be some fun racing to see the Midwest guys go against the West Coast guys. That would be fun. Jeff, being new here, where are you based out of? If you're talking to me, Jeff, if you're asking that question's for me, I am based out of Ohio. I'm in Chillicothe, which is about midway between Columbus and Cincinnati, almost. Just putting it on the map. Just about an hour due south of Columbus. So let's see here. What else do we got? The Fingers lively chat tonight. Jeff, Midwest. Sorry, Jeff, I'm just still catching up. So yeah, I'm in Ohio. We were racing in Cincinnati, actually Oxford, where this wood track is. It's a beautiful track, fantastic. This ain't no garden party. Steve, that's great. I've seen guys throw their cars and controllers at the pit boxes and just walk out after losing a race or crashing. Rob, yeah, nothing like that happened, man. These guys were good. They were fast, and there was a lot of coaching going on, and cheering, and it was good. But it created a pretty intense environment. So there were some squabbles at the driver's stands because, some guys just really just didn't appreciate it. But in the end, everybody shook hands and everybody was good. And that was the important part. So, but I could see where, man, if I was brand new, I probably wouldn't walk back into an environment like that. It was just a little too tense. Marty, I use pipe insulation over the top of my guardrails. John, that's something like that type of material, I think that would work really well. But I think I would want, if I were going to do it, I would want it to cover the entire, however big the wall is. So, see your local upholstery shop for foam. Yeah, Pat, I think that what I would want it to do is look like the wall, though. So, I imagine you could spray paint it to match, so that it blends in. I wouldn't want it to look ugly. I would want it to look like it was part of the track. But just in those trouble areas, soften that wall up a bit. Greg would probably appreciate that with his car a little bit. But I know that they don't do that at any wood track. I've never seen it online anywhere. But yeah, I know that guys, they spend a lot of money on these cars. I hate to see them break them, especially when it comes to that. Have fun on a flat wood track with pool noodles draped over the... You've run on a flat wooden track. Got it. The pool noodle is actually a great idea too. I think that's the right type of foam. Would really soften it up. I would just like for it to be flat up against that so that it it looks like it's part of the wall. So maybe I should jump on that and figure that out. No, I'll leave that to somebody else. I don't have that kind of time. Hey, Ted. Let's see, what do we have? Hey, Michael. Good to have you, man. Yes, please, Marty. I'm not sure what that was for. Oh, to design those. It's a faster pod for sure. Yeah, you get 2/10 out of them over slotted pods, but they are great for sprint races, not endurance races, so I found. And not Marty Ford races when he's racing on the wood track. Oh, John, I got a good chuckle out of it, man. I was pretty focused, but when Dusty told me the story, I thought it was great. Jeff, you were in St. Louis. You go to Ohio once a year. That's cool. Jeff, I drive through St. Louis, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a year. My kids live in Colorado, so I come through there all the time. Show me your slot cars. Jeff, I'm in St. Louis as well. That's cool. There you go, Jeff. You might have somebody close to you there you might be able to hook up with and do some racing. Steve has got a question. Does anyone have experience with air ride wheels? Do you use regular tires? There are some guys here that can answer that question. If I scroll down, I probably find that Daryl might have, Greg's answering it. What kind of air ride wheels? Are you talking about the Thunderslot air rides or NSR air rides? I forget who makes those. See, that's something I haven't really jumped in deep yet, is playing with all the different tire inserts and stuff like that. Needed to talk to some people about with lots of questions about that. So, yeah. Hey, Tom. Near Kings Island, being from Kentucky, went there several times as a child. Thomas, so Cincy Slots is near, it's only about 20 minutes from Kings Island, where we race on Thursday nights. Great plastic track. I don't know, it's about 92 feet lane length. I forget what Bruce said that was. About 90 feet, I think, somewhere in there. It's a 2-lane. It's a lot of fun. So if you ever find yourself there. Honestly, Marty, I'm going to talk to Butch about the walls. That's a fantastic idea. Oh, well, again, it doesn't have to be all of them. Just in those 2 trouble places, you could soften that wall up a little bit. And, listen, if I only came out of the slot in that big turn a couple of times, and it was a pretty easy little slide over to Daryl. Daryl put me back in the slot. The only time it was a problem was when I came out of that hitch and the car jumped up out of the slot, jumped in the next slot, and then it was just straight down. I mean, that's when it broke. And so I think it would be a great idea. Paint them red, make it look just like the walls, and just line that, just that outside wall. That might be the only one you have to do. And I think that would be awesome. And it might save some cars, especially guys who are new at the track that don't have 10,000, 20,000 laps in there. Like Dusty and I are getting there where we've got a couple thousand laps in on the wood track there. Steve probably has, 3,000 or 4,000 laps now with the practice days and things. And so you can really tell, like, you get the laps in, you really start to settle down. So yeah, I'm back in the room. Coffee number 13 uploading for the morning. Dave, I'm enjoying your coffee. I'm working on my coffee sponsor to maybe send you some coffee just for an episode. So I should take care of that for you. But I'm enjoying the videos, man. Good work. Let's see. You can use a catch net. Yeah, I mean you could, but they don't fly off the track. They just the wall's a little taller there. It's just wood, and it's attached to the track, and it doesn't budge. Daryl, still need a stiff cover over it so that they don't dig in when they hit the wall. Well, and that's what I was thinking, Daryl, is you put foam up and then you line it with, you cover the outside of it with a smooth, thin plastic, not like plastic wrap, more like a real thin PVC plastic, so it's nice and smooth. I had thought about that. I just didn't mention it, but yeah, you don't want them to come off and grab. You want it to be smooth. I mean, that's what we run into with some of the Carrera. Is most of the time it's smooth, but sometimes you'll catch on something, and it'll really just launch the car. That's why I went to just poster board. And it works really well, the clips, and with this 4-lane track, we don't have really any issues coming through the borders. But that's a great idea, Daryl. I think that you could develop just a thin piece of some type of covering that would let that wall give just enough to be a little softer hit for the car. I don't know. Somebody will figure it out. Let's see. Air gap. Okay. Oh, you're still talking about Steve. Did anybody get that with quick slicks? Steve, I know there's some guys that run the air ride with inserts, I think, using super tires at our track. And they seem to like them, but I don't know all of the tricks with that, what they're doing with those air ride. There you go. Pat says that the slot car corner has the foam rings to fill the air gap. I'm guessing that the foam inserts just prevent the tire from rolling in the turn, so that you don't get that little hop. Steve Sweeney, we've been trying out gluing the outer perimeter and leaving the middle free of glue, then truing them. We're getting some good results, but yes, use the standard tires for the rim. There you go. I went to Kings Island too, early 70s. DK Moon. You should go there now, man. They've got a ton of roller coasters. But if you went in the 70s, you may have ridden the Beast. It's still there, and it's still the best roller coaster ever. Quick Slicks makes the tire that have the 2 grooves in them. Oh, so that the tire actually fills the gaps. Yes, a bit of a give. I did it on my track 25 years ago. Cool. Pull noodle, zip it in half, solder iron, remove tip, replace with a piece of wire. Now you have a foam cutter. Perfect cut every time. Nice job, Jeff. Great advice. We've tested tires, and super tires are 1/10 or 2 faster on the same car and conditions. Yeah. Steve, great question. Thanks for throwing it out there. We got lots of smart guys that test all of that stuff in the chat. So good stuff. But yes, I only glue the beads of the tires as well. Well done. Rob, I use a very thin, flexible, closed cell foam that I usually collect from boxes that are shipped to me, and then cover it with a cardstock. Oh, that's actually, the cardstock is a great idea, Rob. That would keep cars from catching on the foam, so it wouldn't have to be plastic. It could be cardstock. That would work great. I don't know why I didn't even think about that. Just cut poster board the same height as your foam, and you're rocking and rolling. Great, well done. Looks like a wall, but it gives. Well done. That's crazy, Brandon. Are you kidding me? 86 right now, 43 likes. Thanks for the thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. What else we got? Dave will like the Rost coffee Brazil. Actually, Pat, I don't think I think the Brazil that he had was a little different bean than the Brazil I get. I think he would really like the medium roast of the Brazil from Rost. And I don't think it would be so heavily caffeinated. Let's see, Bo. NSR does for those special rims. They are called Air System. I would be afraid of getting hit in the north. Thanks, John. DJ Patrick, GC. Last slot car I got was the Scalextrics red Bill Elliott. Cheers, Ford Thunderbird. Wow. Dude, I'm a Bill Elliott fan, man. I loved Bill Elliott when I was a kid. So that's cool that you got that car. But that was the last car you bought? Yes. Okay, so I got to catch up. Yep, that's right, Greg. And that's exactly what happened. It was like, hold on. I'm just along for the ride at this point. Everybody's yelling, "Rider, rider." Trying to Daryl hit the track button, but it didn't stop soon enough. Yeah, it's it is what it is. You can't help it. Justin Decker, Marty, what's your favorite Porsche slot car? I need some more for Christmas. Justin, I love the 917s. I just think they are one of the most beautiful cars ever race cars ever made. Just the lines are amazing, and I like the short tails, the long tails, the all of them. I just think that the lines of that car are amazing. I love the 908s, and I even like the Flunders and like all those 908s. I just think that era of Porsche is just really, really nice. But what else? But the newer Porsches are nice too. I love the new GT, what is it, GTD or GT3 Porsche that's running out there. The Rexy Porsche, love that body style. Those look phenomenal. You got this Porsche, the GT3. What is it? A 911. So yeah. The new 963, if you like hypercars, that's an awesome car on the road. And then Scale Auto is actually releasing those in some liveries instead of just the white kit. So that's kind of cool to see. Yeah, lots of great ideas here tonight, John. That's fun. Justin, I think he will say 917. Steve was right. That was put your money on the 917. It's beautiful. John Mark just got, I don't know if I haven't seen him in the chat, but he just bought a Golf 917 NSR. Was really cool. To fingers, Marty, on my track, my white barrier walls are cut from shower surround wall material. Perfect. Some give and not too much bounce. Nice. That's actually a really good idea, cutting that down, because it will bend. Well, right around the turns. 917 so smooth. NSR, of course. Roast Coffee is a channel sponsor. That's right. I love our Roast Coffee. I was there today. I spent about an hour there just chilling and grabbed a cup of coffee and ran into some friends and chit-chatted for a minute, and just it was good. Vin, with Carrera cars, I'd be more concerned about the wall than the cars. That's right, Vin. Well, and that's the difference. The Viper was a Scale Auto. The few Scale Autos that I've played, they've raced with, they're probably a little more fragile than other brands. I feel like, Slotted is right there, NSR. The Revo slots seem to be a little tougher. I think it's because of that aluminum chassis and maybe a little thicker bodies. But so that plays into it too. Shout out to Butch, Greg, and Andy. They had a great. Kurt, dude, I really enjoyed racing with you, man. You guys, you did a great job. Well done. It was fun being beside you. I learned a lot trying to chase you down. I found out that I couldn't keep up with you, but it's good. Thanks for jumping in the chat, man. Congratulations on you guys. Yeah, maybe we'll make the trip up to Michigan 24 and watch the race. There won't be any me racing in that. I don't belong with those guys. Harry still hates coffee. Gary, Marty, I want to get that slot at Porsche. I think it's red. The Momo. Gary, good choice on the Momo. Yes. Momo, Mumu. What is it? Please, somebody tell me how I should pronounce that. Is it Mumu? Is it Momo? Fix me right now. Yeah, Daryl. Yeah. Kurt was funny, man. Kurt, yeah, he was funny. Kurt, you move a lot with your controller. When I was beside you, when I was running the green lane, and you were just inside of me, man, you were kind of all over the place. I was afraid I was going to get in your way. I tried to step back a little bit and give you room so you can move. You got in a great rhythm. Well done. Let's see here. The JPS was your first Revo 911. John Player Special. Nice. Our guardrails are made of vinyl signs from work. That's cool, Chris. That's a good idea. John Mark is here. Welcome, John Mark. Yeah, I could pull your car out of the box. I have your 917. Frankie, question: how does the Shadow run on your track? The Shadow runs great on my track. Dusty's Shadow is super fast. I don't know if it's just that motor's got a little more pep to it, because he really didn't do any tuning to it. He just kind of put silicone tires on it and threw it on the track. Maybe added a little bit of weight, and that car is quick. It runs great. But the Shadows, the Shadows do really well on this 4-lane. Again, this 4-lane's not too complicated. It's modified figure 8. It's got the little squiggles on the one side, and it's got this little, I like to call it the corkscrew turn down here, which has got the little hitch in it that can be a little tricky until you get it figured out. But yeah, Mo. Thanks, Chris. That's what I thought. That's how I always pronounced it. But Momo. The car is a Momo. Marty wears a moo. Thanks, Dusty. I can count on you, bro. I can count on you. Hey, Cody. Welcome, man. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Oh, Greg, did you pick that up? Dude, that car is great. See, I have the, I'm looking for it. I have the Fat Turbo back here, and it's the same mold and chassis, and that Fat Turbo, I love driving that thing. I want to put a light kit in it, like the rest of my Group C cars. See you, Michael. Let's see. What is Elf? Elf is a Christmas movie. Is that what we're talking about? You get better racing the best, Marty. Of course, you deserve to be out there. Nick, thanks. You know, it was a great learning experience. When you get to race with fast people, you really, if you follow them around a little bit and you learn their braking points and things. Kurt, I meant to ask you what controller were you using, and if you were using a DeFalco, what network are you using? Because I found out talking to Mike that a lot of you guys are running the DeFalco are running a much higher ohm, slowing that controller down a little bit, and maybe that I'm just running the standard network, and maybe that could help me a little bit from a sensitivity standpoint. on that wood track. So I don't know what people are running, what network people are running, but I'm curious to know, do you run the 290, which is the standard, or do you run something different? Curvy, you posted okay, Bo, he's talking about Elf, the oil company. Yeah. Isn't Elf, isn't that Total now? Maybe I'm mistaken, but I was thinking that there's just gone through a name change. Mo who? Larry and Curly and Mo. That car is fast. I watched Sasha run it on their track tonight. DNA did a video 2 hours ago. Cool. Anytime. I know, bro. You got my back. Shotgun Dave, Customs, nice Momo wheel to go with those Fuchs. Nice. Yeah, I already have the wheels for my Momo when it comes. And it's these, if it'll focus. Come on, focus. It's not going to focus, but it's the 5-spoke staffs. Those look good. I've not driven the style of 962 yet. I think you'll enjoy it. You've not driven the slotted Group C cars, or just the 962. I would tell you that the Hexcel, which is like a tall wing, drives it's a little long, just a touch longer. It drives a little different. I still love it, but it's a little different than that short 962. Yeah, good stuff, guys. If I miss a question, I apologize. I'm scrolling through just to make sure that I hit things. Yeah, I think I've got an Elf sign on my track someplace. Pistol Pete, did you ever get your Maverick Grabber 132 scale on the eBay auction? Pistol Pete, I did not win that. I'm still shopping for one, but I'll get one. I actually know where there's one at that's a model that's already built. After John Bacon has it, and after he gets moved in, he's moving in the process of moving. That's why we haven't seen him in the chat for a while. He has one he found in a box that's put together from when he was a kid, and we want to get with I told him, I said, I want to take it and send it to Shotgun Dave and have him make a mold of it, so then lots of people could have Mavericks. And so at some point he's going to ship that out to me, and we're gonna make that happen. So let's see. Marty, I can have you try my network when we meet up. It works on all tracks for me. It's homemade. Most of ours are. That's cool. So you've created your own curve with your network, not just the standard curve. Yeah, I think that Greg, I'll be honest with you, I think that was getting me a little bit. I think that even with my sensitivity where I had it set, which was really low, which was way lower than I normally run it, I could still snap that car right out of the slot with my trigger anytime I wanted to. Not that I ever wanted to, but you know what I mean? And I think I was telling you, like, I didn't have, like, on my track, I can feel my car in my finger. And so I can feel like I can throw the car around a little bit when I need to. I feel like I've got a good sense on my track and on at Cincy Slots and other plastic tracks that I've been on. But on the wood track, I feel like I don't have that connection with my car. I feel like my reaction is always a little off, and I'm always just a bit behind. So that could all be in my controller settings. I think that I have it set up right, and then I get out there in the race, and I'm never, ever like 100% confident or comfortable, if that makes sense. So eyelids are best in the trash can. Yep, Steve, you're right. Let's see. What else do I have? Sorry, guys. I'm trying to catch up. Former French Petroleum. Renamed Total. Nice. Yeah, I thought it was Total. I thought Elf had transitioned. I'm curious. We've talked a lot about that, John, and I guess I should just throw them on the Fat Turbo. They would look great on it, just to kind of see how they run, and see if it changes anything on my track. Yeah, the Elf F1 is great, Kirby. That's a great livery. The old school Elf. They're asking crazy prices for them. Yeah. Send it. All right, Dave. I'll get with Bacon and see if we can't get that thing to you. 132 slot cars. Harry says, I ordered my first Revo slot tonight. Which one did you order, Harry? Yes, on the Maverick. Yeah, I know. I'd be curious to know what Revo slot you ordered, Harry. Let us know in the chat. Did Jackie Stewart drive the Elf team car with the 4 front wheels? You know, I don't know if Jackie Stewart ever raced that. Oh, Steve says yes. Jackie did. Cool. That was kind of before my time watching F1. Let's see here. Use the Force. That's right. Luke, I am your father. I've seen, Greg, I have seen 124 scale Vegas as well. They're usually drag cars, though, the model. But I think if you could do some modification and make a street car if that's what you're after. Hey, man, Wild Man, I appreciate you being here. Thanks. Go get some rest, bro. You run the old school 304 DeFalco with a 522 network. Okay, so that, Kurt, that's what I thought. That ohm rating seems really high to me. But obviously it's working for you, man. So I am definitely willing to give it a try. Thanks for the recommendation. With a 522 network, the trick is being ultra smooth. If your car wiggles, you're dead. So smooth is king. Yeah, Kurt, you were definitely very smooth. Well done. I appreciate that. I think the 522 network, which is what Mike was talking about, that's something you guys kind of developed up there at Cloverleaf because they had to explain it to Jim DeFalco. That you guys were making your own. So that was what Mike was telling me. So thanks, Kurt. I appreciate you throwing that out there. Let's see. AMT at Hobby Lobby. The Vega. Yeah. I was just at a Hobby Lobby tonight. What size staff wheels for the Fat Turbo? Dave, these are the, oh gosh, what are these? Where is my calipers? Oh, shoot. Don't pay attention to that grimace. These are 5'8" by... what are they? Five. Yeah. They're 5'8" tall. Oh, wait. Let's throw it over to millimeters. Let me make sure I'm zeroed out. 0. Yeah, 15 Yeah, 15.8 by 8.5. 8.5 by 15.8. Is that the right size? I don't have the package anymore. I think I threw it away. Somebody probably answered it. No, Jackie had retired before the six-wheel Tyrrell came out. That's what I thought, Chris. Thanks. Jackie in four-wheeler for sure. QQ, Pat, where do you get the network 522 for the 304 DeFalco? So I think what you can do, Pat, is buy the custom and build it yourself. They make a customized network that comes with a bunch of resistors, and you put them in yourself and design your own. So, but Pat, that's actually a great question. I'm going to figure it out, and I will make a video about it. How's that? It might be a few weeks before I can get to it, but maybe beginning of the year. DeFalco controller I use is a 124 with a 148 chip. Helps a lot with response and braking. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, that's a big difference, ohm rating. Slot car legend, League of Champions. I'd like a Griswold station wagon family Truckster slot car from National Lampoon's Vacation. Brandon, I have the 1/12 Tamiya Tyrrell six-wheeler kit. I'm nervous to build it. Too expensive to screw up. That is an expensive model kit. John, 15.10 for the rears, 15.85s for the fronts. Thanks. It took me forever to get this measure. You already had it answered. I ordered the Ford Escort in white. You ordered a white kit or just the white Ford Escort? Yeah, you'll like it. Harry, who has the Ford Escort? Dusty, do you have the Escort? I think Dusty has an Escort. Let's see. What's your favorite tire to use for a wood track? Tom, so it depends. You have to really. It depends on the wood track. So many wood tracks they use rubber, and so I would that new slotted or not new, but that slotted 22, 25 Shore, whatever it is that everybody seems to be gravitating towards on the wood track at Electric Dreams. I think that's if you're using rubber tires, that's probably a great way to go. People like NSR rubber on wood tracks. Some people run foam, but at Butch's track we run silicone, and there a lot of guys gravitate towards super tires or quick slicks. You're welcome, Dave. Yeah, Slot Car Corner, they have a couple networks available. They are fun cars, George. Let's see. I'm in talks with the 3D printer guy to make a 130 scale monkey mobile. Waiting on an answer. Caveman, that's awesome. A lot of people probably don't remember the monkey mobile. But Dusty and I used to watch the monkeys in reruns when we were little kids. One of the local channels after school ran Batman, the Monkeys, Scooby-Doo, Tom and Jerry. We used to watch that all the time. I am really curious about a 3D printer. That might have to be something that happens. You have the Escort and the Opal waiting at the shop. Yes, the green Opal. Gotcha, Harry. Tires for wood banked tracks. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just going to depend on the track. A lot of guys run foam on those big wood tracks, and a lot of times they put glue down. So it depends on what they're doing with that. I know Ross at his wood track, he puts glue down and runs foam tires. What, Electric Dreams don't want NSR tires? Well, here's the thing. The year before, that's what everybody was running, was the NSR rubber on the slotted cars. But Slotted released that tire, and that's what Ian won with, and they've all been testing him, I guess. Steve's got the 404. Bo, any hints your Christmas wishes will be fulfilled? Bo, I have a feeling that a couple of them will be fulfilled, because I will probably order them. But that was a fun video to do, man. And I think everybody has their wish list. Like now, there's so many great cars coming out, and just some fun cars that I'd just really like to have in the collection. But honestly, I've got 2 scratch build cars that I need to finish. That really needs to be my focus before I go jumping in with any new cars. But Bo, yeah, thanks, man. I sent Santa a letter. Hopefully he shows up at the house. I've got 4 fireplaces in this place, so he can come down the chimney. Then, because of the weight of a Revo slot cars, the softer compounds go away rather quickly. Wouldn't try anything less than 22 Shore on all but the smoothest of tracks. Good to know. Dusty, he loves his Opal. He just got it. Tom just got it. I saw that. I saw your post, Tom. Brandon, what is the most unique, rare, special you guys own? Brandon, I haven't been in this long enough to really like have any. I have cars that are special to me, but I don't have any like sought after cars that in my collection that nobody has or that were available a long time ago and nobody can get now. Probably. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't have any special cars. But I do have, I don't know. I've got one of the older BRM 124 scales, the Budweiser Group C, and that's kind of a cool car, but I'm not sure that it's rare. But the Bud King of Beers livery is awesome. Looking at anything else, I don't know, like the 917s. Then I've got a 908 fly car that I think is cool, but again, it's not rare. Yeah, Scott, I agree. I was watching a little bit of the live stream at towards the end of the day, right before I came live, and came on the live stream, and it looked like George and Frank were having some fun. I hear Ian and Jim have moved to BRM tires. That's interesting. I'd be interested to find out more about that. But again, we don't run everywhere that we race is silicone. So until we make the transition to rubber tires at some point, yeah. Spray painting my basement walls. They're just like yours, Marty. That's my Christmas wish when finishing up my track. Pistol Pete. So somebody had painted these walls probably in the 50s. They painted them that like weird green. You can still see it on the back wall. And it's slowly coming off and fading over the years. Why they would paint it green, I have no idea. So I've thought about painting my walls as well, but I kind of like the character of them. It's the true man cave, right? But yeah, I get it. Especially if you're trying to keep the moisture out. Painting these white with that waterproof paint would probably be great, but I don't have any water issues. This basement's really dry. I don't know, Dusty can attest to it. It's kind of surprising, being an old house from the 1890s. Very fortunate. The ceiling's kind of low, but the concrete floor and basement's dry. Most of my neighbors have dirt floors still in their basements, and nobody has a slot car track in their basement in my neighborhood. Well, what else do we have? That's your first Revo, and the quality's awesome. I would agree. We are big fans of Revo slots. John Mark's got the Ken Miles GT40 on 124 scale. Yes, that would be one that is a recent release, but probably will be a very good car to have a hold of down the road. Then Electric Dreams hoards all the hard to find cars. Yeah, you can buy them. Get out your wallet. But if there's a car that you want, it's cool to know that you could go out and buy it if you really wanted to spend the money on it. Slot Car League of Champions question. I have a Carrera catalog from 07. It has a couple of NASCARs in it. Did Carrera used to have a NASCAR license? Yeah, I think they did a long time ago. And, NASCAR, they lost it and or didn't renew it, or, kind of walked away and changed their direction. And now they're coming back. So next year, it looks like the Chase Elliott was the rumor we're seeing, that the Chase Elliott livery is going to be one of the Carrera releases. And that's cool. That's really cool. That will be a very popular car. But yeah, that's what I know. Dave Kennedy would be the historian that could tell you all about that. I stitched Santa, but had to promise to run them early Christmas Eve. There you go, Bo. Well, hopefully Santa comes visit you at 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. A lot of people here in the States do Christmas on Christmas Eve too. So they can sleep in on Christmas Day. When will BRM be ready to deliver? The MR Slot Car Shadow, Caveman, that's a pretty special car. I mean, the thing is you can still get it. It's available. But I think that, once that model's gone, people are pretty happy that they got them. And, 20 years from now, it would be cool to see them become very, worth a lot of money. I'm getting me an Omni box next year to run my analog cars. Awesome, Gary. Won't be disappointed in it, man. That would be a great idea, Bud Slot. Bud Slot. I would be interested to run our tire out there and see what happens. At Electric Dreams? Yeah, me too. Because they keep that track clean, right? They don't let the rubber build up on it. Is that right? Because I don't remember seeing rubber build up. I mean, I think they do that weekend, but I think they run a pretty clean track. John, you might know that. Yeah, you won't find a bad Revo slot. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a handful of brands out there that you just can't go wrong with. You buy a Revo slot, you're going to be really happy with just about anything. You buy an NSR, they're all really good performers. Slotted, Sideways. I'm super big fan of Sideways. I think those cars are great. So, yeah, 70 minutes. Is that where we're at? Whew. Garth, hey, guys, kind of a shout out to Garth. Garth and I've had a conversation going all week, over the weekend, about he's got he designed a guide for slotted cars, right, Garth? And I feel like I should have that window open. I can put the link out there. But he's designed a guide that looks really, really promising, and I need to order some so I can give it a try. Let's see here, Garth. Let me find. I'll throw that link out here. Garth. There we go. Yeah, it's called an Outlaw Guides. I'm looking for the link. He sent me a link a long time ago, and I went out and looked at them, but I never picked up any. I just read if you're sticking with the alphabet, shouldn't it be Friday at 4 lines? Well, so my name doesn't have anything to do with how many lanes my track is. The name is after my kids. Let's see here. Well, Garth, I know I just had that link up. JK. Anyway, I'll find it and I'll put it up there. I'll post a link to it. But really interesting design for guides. Got a little bit of length to them. Got a little bit of shape to them. I think they would perform really well. He says they do great on Carrera track. So yeah. Your hard to find car. Yeah, Kirby, you're right. They have the license for Hendrix Racing. Some Revo slots just need a bit more tuning than others. I have a Carrera C6 test car. I'm told is very rare. That's cool. You're going to do a video on it. They have some classic NASCAR stuff out there. That's something they bring back every once in a while and reuse those molds over and over again. Greg, yours is a box set of the 956 Rothman slotted Porsches. Nice. That's cool. Quality is built in with the Revo slots. Yep. Man, we should have somebody from Revo slots on the live stream. They get lots of promotion on this live stream. That was Steve. I would say that's a licensing issue. Did you mention a new timing software last week? Yes, Vin. So Patrick might be in the chat. He usually is. Is releasing sometime in the near future a program called Fast Laps. So if you go to Fast Laps, FASLAPS.com, you can kind of see some screenshots and things. And I've been testing it on the digital side. He's got a new update out there. I need to go out and I haven't really been on my track for about a week. I need to go out there and do some testing this weekend because my kids are coming home and they will want to run digital. And so it will get lots of testing. So that's going to force me to finish wiring the 4-lane for digital and do some stuff there. But yes, Vin, check them out. Patrick's great. Has been doing lots of updates here lately. So the software's really, if you do digital, it does digital and analog. It's super easy to organize and manage a race. And then I feel like the interface, the timing interface just looks super modern. And then he's got announcers built in and lots of things like that. Some really cool features. So go check it out. There's a video out there on the website. So yeah, Fast Laps. Here, I'll put the link out there. Copy. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, they are both on Worldwide Chat. Yep. Garth is on Worldwide Chat. Sideways are great cars, but completely different animals from Revo slots. Yes, I would agree. I feel like Sideways is just a couple notches away from slotted because I think they use a lot of slotted parts. in their builds. And so, yeah, I really like sideways cars. And then fairly easy to tune until you have a M1 that has bad tires on it. When I just want to bust off a quick and smooth lap, the first car I pick up is a Thunderslot. Me too, John. Me too. I love my Thunderslot. It's my favorite car. I said it last night on Raul's live stream. I say it again tonight. It is my favorite car. I've got lots of cars I really love driving, but my Elva and my M6A, I'd really like to get a few more. The new liveries they're releasing. Can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah, Vin, check it out, man. I put the link out there. I watched the Gulf 12-hour race, Intercontinental GT Challenge over the weekend. The Ferrari 298 GT had the Carrera Rev. Yeah, I saw that. I saw pictures of it. I watched a few minutes of the live stream on YouTube as I was prepping the car, getting gassed when Dusty and I were headed to the 6-hour endurance race. So I watched a few minutes of it, but not a whole lot. Oh, man. Let's see. Caveman has the limited monogram Mark Donahue Lola. Ooh, nice. That's cool. That's really cool. Let's see here. What else do we have? I'm still looking for Garth's link to the website. There they are. There it is. Copy link. So these are some guides that jadedparts.com that Garth and Jeremy have built some things and put out there. So check them out. But the Carrera guides look. The slotted guides for Carrera look really good. It would be good to test some of those. So I'll get some ordered. Open wheel cars. The NSR 8689 is a great car for sure, but my heart lies with Polycar. I have been told that if you pull the racing sticker off, it says Rothman's. Surprise. Steve, that's awesome. Reba Slots should make some 124 cars. Marty, what software can I use to design a track for Polycar track? Tom, there's a track pack for a couple of model railroad software packages that have the Polycar track set in it. Those are the only ones I know of, and off the top of my head, I do not know what they're called. But I've done some. If you just search Polycar design software, there'll be a couple of model railroad that you can add the Polycar track to, and you can design in. Yeah, but I've not found a free one or anything like that. And Autobahn Planner doesn't do Polycar. It only does Carrera. I just got my Thunderslot F1 GTR. One green, one purple. Is it the Revo slot? The Toyota, Steve? Or Thunderslot? I agree, John. Collected everyone. Yes, more 124. McLaren F1 GTR. Okay, Steve. Yep. Cool. See you, Clint. Thanks for joining us, man. Yeah, it's 9:27. I'm gonna wrap things up. Yeah, this has been great talk. I appreciate everybody jumping in. We're getting close to the holidays, and I'm going to try to continue through the holidays on Tuesdays, because I just feel like we have so much momentum right now as a group and as a community. And but so even if you can't join because you've got family and things, man, don't sweat it. I appreciate it. We've got some videos planned to release over the holidays too. Worked on one today that should be some fun, and maybe I did a little singing. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so let's wrap things up. Any last questions before we head out? And maybe I get a few laps in. Maybe I run John Mark's new 917 golf livery. Maybe. No, I won't do that to him. It's his car. He needs to be the first one to drive it. I have the Electric Dreams NSR GT40s. Nice. Brandon, we have one here too. John Mark bought the race prepped one. Yeah, Anthony, man, thanks for joining again. I appreciate it. Yeah, Caveman, as always, great to have you guys. Yeah, Curvy, good to have you guys. Thanks, George. Thanks, Pat. Anthony, Greg, I did send you a message with my mailing address, so let me know what I owe you. Thanks, Greg. Greg, thanks, man. I had a great time on Sunday with you. I really appreciate your help and your advice. Yeah, I just want you to know I really appreciate you. Night, Eric. Good night, John. Don, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Go ahead, and I'll let you know how it runs. Yeah, we'll see. Chris, take care, man. DeFingers, good night. Gary, good night. Jeff. Yep, that's right. Guys, have a good evening. We'll see you guys later, and go have some fun racing.